They say every town in the Wild West had a sound. The creak of swinging saloon doors, boots scraping against wooden floors, laughter, gunshots in the distance, a piano that never quite stayed in tune. But one night, one town lost all of it. No music, no voices, no footsteps, just silence. And at the center of that silence stood two men, facing each other in the dust. By sunrise, one of them would be dead, and the town would never sound the same again. This is the night the town went silent. The town of Red Hollow wasn't much to look at. One main street, a saloon that leaned slightly to the left, a sheriff's office with a star nailed crooked above the door, a general store, a church, and a graveyard that grew faster than the town itself. But Red Hollow was alive. Even after sunset, the place breathed. You could hear it, the low hum of voices, the clink of glasses, laughter spilling into the street. Cowboys passed through. Miners spent their last dollars here. Drifters stayed just long enough to forget who they were. And standing quietly at the edge of it all was Sheriff Eli Morgan. Eli wasn't a loud man. He didn't need to be. He wore his badge like it weighed something, like every man he'd buried added to it. For 5 years, Red Hollow stayed standing because Eli made sure of it. Until the night a familiar shadow rode back into town. The sun was bleeding into the horizon when the rider appeared. One horse, one man, one long shadow stretching across Main Street. People noticed right away. The saloon doors stopped swinging. The piano missed a note, then another, then stopped completely. Whispers spread faster than fire in dry grass. He's back. No way. Thought he was dead. The rider dismounted slowly, boots touching the dirt like he'd never left. Jack Crow, a name Red Hollow had tried to forget. Years ago, Jack Crow was the fastest gun in 3 counties, and the most dangerous. He didn't rob banks for money. He did it because he could. Because people looked afraid when he smiled. Eli Morgan had run him out of town once, but Jack Crow never forgot a place that turned its back on him. And tonight, he had come back to finish something. Jack Crow walked down Main Street. Each step sounded too loud, too sharp. People pulled curtains closed. Hands froze halfway to door handles. Even the wind seemed to slow down. At the far end of the street, Sheriff Eli Morgan stepped out of his office. No rush. No gun drawn. Just 2 men locking eyes across 50 yards of dirt. Neither spoke. They didn't need words. This wasn't about the law or justice. This was about memory. Jack tipped his hat slightly, a smile pulling at the corner of his mouth. Eli didn't move. That was when Red Hollow went completely silent. No birds, no wind, no piano. The town was holding its breath. Jack Crow had once killed a man right outside the saloon. Not in a duel, not in self-defense, just because the man had looked at him the wrong way. The body lay in the street for hours before anyone dared move it. That was the day Eli Morgan decided Red Hollow needed a sheriff. And Jack Crow decided he hated being told no. Tonight wasn't about revenge for that man. It was about pride, about a town choosing a side. Jack's hand rested near his revolver. Eli stayed relaxed at his side. But both men were already fighting a battle that started years ago. Jack Crow took the first step forward, then another. Slow, deliberate. Dust rose with each step and settled again, like the earth itself was nervous. Eli met him halfway. The distance between them shrank until they stood 10 feet apart, close enough to see every line on each other's face. Jack's smile was still there, but his eyes were hard. "Town looks quiet," Jack said. Eli finally spoke. "Town's listening." That was all. No challenge, no threat, just truth. In the Wild West, there were rules that never needed saying. No one shoots first. No one looks away. No one interferes. And when it's over, the town remembers. Jack Crow's fingers twitched. He was fast. Everyone knew it. But Eli Morgan wasn't slow. What Eli had was patience. Years of standing in doorways. Years of watching hands reach for guns. Years of knowing exactly when a man decides to die. Time stretched thin. A bead of sweat ran down Jack's temple. Eli noticed. Jack noticed that Eli noticed. Somewhere, a loose sign creaked once, then stopped. That sound echoed louder than a gunshot would. Jack inhaled, and in that breath, Eli saw it. The decision. The draw was almost invisible, a blur of motion. Leather creaking, steel flashing. 2 shots cracked through the silence. Not 1, 2. Dust exploded between them. Jack Crow staggered backward. Eli Morgan stayed standing. Jack looked surprised. Not scared. Surprised. He dropped to his knees, one hand pressed against his chest, blood soaking through his coat. The fastest gun in 3 counties had been beaten by a man who waited. Jack fell face first into the dirt, dead before his hat hit the ground. For a moment, no one moved. Then the town exhaled. Doors opened slowly. People stepped out into the street like they were seeing daylight for the first time. Eli holstered his revolver. He didn't look at the body for long. He'd seen enough of them. The piano started again. Soft at first. Careful. Boots began moving. Voices returned, low and unsure. Red Hollow found its sound again. But it wasn't the same. It never would be. Because everyone there knew. Silence could come back. That night, Red Hollow learned something the Wild West taught over and over again. Not every showdown is loud. Not every legend is born in a blaze of glory. Sometimes, it's born in silence. In the space between a breath and a trigger pull. In the moment a town decides who it stands behind. Jack Crow became a story people told in whispers. Sheriff Eli Morgan became something else. A reminder that even in the loudest, wildest places, the quietest man can be the deadliest. And somewhere out there, under a wide western sky, there are still towns listening, waiting. For the night, they go silent again.